Hello!
Hello.
Welcome in, everybody. So, to a lovely stream. I have the immediately forgotten adjective to say, Gladravina with me today. And she,
Illustrious, stinky,
illustrious,
fey, gremlin,
just suddenly forgot adjectives. Just like, yes, um, some kind of person, glad.
Some kind of person is an apt description, I think.
And we are doing hand cam. Hello. Hi, Mercury. Hello, Skia. Hello, Mac. Hi, Lorano. Why? Saw the why. But, yeah. So, I was gonna, but. So, Glad is going to teach me how to do tarot today. Like the
Yeah.
tarot today. So, here is
Well.
insert positive adjective, Glad Ravina. Alright, but I guess, first and foremost, how are you today? Headphones die?
Did they die?
No, perfect. Okay.
Fantastic.
Yeah, they do this thing randomly where they're just like, and completely disconnected. And I'm like, and what happens is my computer will just randomly be like, my computer will just randomly be like, hey, you know your capture card for your console? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, that's a headset. And I'm like, it's not how that works.
Well, I love it when I plug a controller in, and sometimes a game will just be like, "Oh, a controller. That's a headset, right?" And I'm like, "What? No, stop it! Give me my sound back."
Scourge Ward, yes. Back when I was a super fan of World of Warcraft, I collected the card game, and I got this mat with a booster pack thingy that I bought. This is the only play mat I have. I'm like play mat thing, desk mat, and I'm like, y'all don't want to see how scratched and scuffed up my desk looks, so I'm just like, aha, mat. Here. Okay, so yeah. How are you today?
I'm doing lovely.
Careful.
I mean, for the most part.
So,
So, Taro, what have you gleaned from pop culture or other information, Selvion? How do you read tarot from your perspective as somebody who doesn't know anything?
okay, so the cards all have like meanings,
Okay.
and depending on what you pull, it means different things. Uh,
Sure.
there's a bunch that are just like numbers and objects, and I believe they're like intensity of whatever that object is and what that object means. But then there is also ones that are like star platinum and the world and the tower and the fool and uh what are aren't the things in Persona those two?
Yes. Yep.
The silver hierophant, right?
Just the Hierophant, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm adding too much JoJo on it. Got it. All right.
So, what have you tried to do anything with your deck? You bought a deck. Did you do anything with
Yes.
it?
No. It sat on my deck or my desk because I was just like, this is a fun idea because I bought it entirely with the idea of this stream.
Okay. Well, allow me to start by dispelling a rumor that you are unaware of, but I'm sure someone somewhere someday will bring it up. Um, There is a rumor that floats around cultic spaces, witch spaces, what have you, the spheres that I hang around in, that if you buy, you shouldn't buy your own tarot deck, and that's bullshit. There's no reason that you shouldn't buy your own tarot deck. Some people say that tarot should be gifted to you and that it won't work if it's not gifted to you, but that's silly. Because what if you don't have somebody to gift you a deck, but you still want to learn? Are you just fucked? No. That's some bullshit that some people made up in the like 90s to try to feel more magical about their silly little cards. Um,
Sounds
so
about right.
if anybody hops in the future and you're like, "Oh yeah, I bought this deck," and they're like, "Oh, it's bad luck if you buy your own tarot deck," just be like, "Yeah, okay." And then just, fucking blow them off. Fuck those people.
Okay.
Um but I'm glad that you bought a tarot deck. That is the first step in learning tarot, is purchasing a deck. A lot
Yeah.
of times decks will have little things with them. Sometimes they will come with books, or they'll have like a little book or leaflet that will like tell you an overview of the cards. Um, there
So
is
this, I
an
assume.
yeah, probably. There is also an application on smart devices called Labyrinthios that can help you learn more cards on your own time. And they also have some little like exercises and drills in there that you can goof off with in a run. Um,
Okay.
that is purely for outside things. I personally have a tarot book that I am holding, and I have a couple of tabs open up on my web browser for information. Just to be perfectly clear, I'm not pulling this out of my mind. I am, in fact, reading books that are next to me. Um,
Wonderful.
yes. So the tarot deck itself is split up into two different suits, um,
Probably should
major arcana and
I have
minor arcana. No, no, no,
combined
no.
it though.
No, you absolutely should have.
Okay, good.
Um,
Okay.
the major arcana are the ones you're thinking about from Persona. That's the Fool, the Hierophant, Strength, the World, Justice, the Hanged Man, Death, the Devil, the Tower, the Star, all of those. Those are your major arcana. Um, when using tarot as a divination practice, which is to say, divining the future or um, what am I looking for? Future possibilities. Um, the major arcana represents larger, more archetypal concepts. Um, for example, the first card in the major arcana is the Fool. The core meaning of the Fool is the beginning of a journey, the moment taken before the first step of something. It's it's a larger, more archetypal. The Fool exists as the beginning of all things and will be further interpreted by the rest of the cards you pull. Um,
Oh, so it's like more like literary than like.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, very much so. The tarot itself goes through a journey. It's called the Fool's Journey, or sometimes the Fool's Journey through the Major Arcana. Um, because the story of the Major Arcana is the Fool at the beginning of traditionally a magical journey. So the Fool is the first step. Then you move on to the Magician, which is the second card in the Major Arcana, but traditionally considered the first proper card because the Fool is a bit like a Joker. It's considered like zero in the Major Arcana.
Okay.
So then the first card is the Magician. It's where the Fool has begun to learn magic. Its core meaning is very much using knowledge and resources to create a change within the world or your environment. And then as the fool moves through through the magician, they meet the high priestess, um, which is sort of a furtherance of experience. The magician initially is just starting, a bit like the fool on their journey. Like they've done a bit more work than the fool. They aren't the fool, they're the magician. They've done some work to learn, but the high priestess is really that experience. It's the second card of the major arcana. It's very much learning, and you've been at this for a little bit, whatever it is. In this case, like I said in my example, a magical practice, you've learned the tools of the trade, you've started to learn some rituals. The high priestess is much more confident in her abilities. And then moving through into the third proper card of the major arcana, the empress, very much like a mother figure, abundance, creation, that kind of thing. We've graduated from the high priestess to the empress herself. She is able to create and form deep connections with the universe. She is considered matronly, often associated with Mother Nature and also mothers in general, motherhood. Um, and then graduating from the Empress into the fourth card, the Emperor, creating order and stability. It's settling down after that Empress creation energy into the stability and quiet of not like a routine, not like a mundane sort of thing, but just like, we've figured out what we wanted to create, and now we're going through the process with the Emperor of stabilizing all of our ideas and stuff like that. And then into the fifth card is the Hierophant of the Major Arcana. Please stop me if I'm yapping too long,
No, you're
or if
fine.
you have questions.
I was trying to find the cards as you said them, and that was way harder than I thought it would be.
Yeah. I figured that might be a little challenging. The fifth card of the Major Arcana is the Hierophant. That is very much a bit of a teacher concept. I should be talking about more about the imagery that's depicted on the cards, but the Hierophant is usually
Aha!
a wise person, sometimes depicted with one or two people. Yeah, you got them. That are learning from them. The Hierophant is like a teacher. So despite all of that learning that we did through the Magician and the High Priestess and the Empress and the Emperor, it feels like we should have learned everything by that point. But no, the Hierophant is here to show us that it's never too late in your journey to learn more. Um, it's very much living in faith every day through like looking for different lessons. Yeah. Having faith that throughout as you go throughout your day, there is still more to learn. And keeping that open mind to ensure that you learn all of those things.
Okay.
Yeah. Move into the sixth card, the Lovers. In the Major Arcana, sometimes that's represented as a choice. And the Lovers often signify the the idea of having a choice, but there being a choice that is good for your heart or your soul, kind of idea. Like it doesn't specifically refer to love, but it's like a choice similar to love in that it's good for you, like it's good for your soul, it's good for your heart, that kind of thing. Like it might be pursuing a passion, which granted some people would call that love as well, but
Yeah,
um
there is so many numbers in here.
yeah.
Just like three
um
of ones, four of ones, five of one. And I'm like,
yeah, so the Major Arcana is the big archetypal stuff like I've been going through, but then the Minor Arcana cards, that's the other suit, are split up into subsuits. There are 4 subsuits in the Minor Arcana suit. Wands, Pentacles, swords, and I always forget the last one. Cups. Um,
Okay.
and so those have 1 through or ace through king cards for each of those subsuits. So the minor
Oh,
arcana suit is much bigger than the major arcana suit.
okay. So this has more cards in it than a traditional like playing card deck.
Yes, tarot is 72 cards, if I remember correctly off the top of my head.
Oh, okay.
Whereas a
So,
traditional playing card deck is 52 cards if you include both jokers.
oh, so I guess one theoretically could make a makeshift tarot card deck with a. There's 4 suits, and one can make a makeshift tarot card deck with like a traditional deck of cards and like handful of Uno cards, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. No, definitely. You for sure could.
Okay.
Um, although if you wanted to read based on just regular playing cards, cartomancy, that isn't tarot based, that is regular, bicycle playing cards, has been around, and I'm very confident that um there are lots of different opinions on what the bicycle deck translates to directly instead of trying to add in Uno cards.
I mean, fair. I mean, actually, that's something we are gonna do. Is we're gonna try. I'm gonna have you try to help me read other cards because I thought that would be fun.
Hmm.
Also, this is just a side note. Have you ever watched Cardcaptor Sakura?
I have not, but I have a friend who has. Actually, I have a friend who's like obsessed with a bunch of different trading card games and has watched a bunch of different animes and collects a bunch of them. It's
Like,
very fun.
are you familiar with like the basic premise of
I am,
Cardcaptor?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I actually kind of thought the cards would be a little more like that. Is that weird? Like, I don't know if that's weird.
Mhm.
I thought there'd be like legitimately. Uh, if I did wasn't like culturally, part of me thought like, yeah, of course, there's like the weird numbers with the things. I didn't realize that was more than half of the cards, though. I
Yeah.
actually, you think tarot? When I think of tarot, I always kind of assumed it would be more like, just like things, like kind of like the card captor Sakura cards.
Mm. Now, there are other divinatory types of cards. Um, you have what is called the Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck, and
Okay.
that is because it was designed by a man named Ryder and illustrated by a man named Waite, both last names, and edited by Smith, I think. Don't hold me to any of that. Tarot history is not my strong suit, but the other two
There.
options are Oracle decks, which are much more vague than your traditional Rider-Waite-Smith. It very often contains cards that are just like random objects. Like it'll just say Guardian Angel or Red Sphere or some shit like that.
Oh, so that's actually
Um,
closer to more what I was actually like
yeah,
always
yeah.
assumed these like.
Yes, very much. And then there is the Thoth tarot deck or Toth tarot deck, which was created by Aleister Crowley. I know that one. Um, actually, no, it wasn't. It was the system itself was developed by Crowley. There was a lady who developed the cards, and I am blanking on her name for the fucking life of me. Um, yeah, because I remember she made the cards and then commissioned Crowley to teach her the system. Anyway, that's the Thoth Tarot deck. Often used in magical rituals in the religion of Thelema, but I've never looked too deeply into the Thoth Tarot. It's not really my style. Oracle cards are, in my opinion and experience, hard as fuck to get down because you very much have to be good at abstracting your brain into concepts, and it's something that I struggle with.
Okay, fair enough. Uh,
Because, like, what the hell does red sphere mean? I don't know. The magician? The magician, I know what the magician means. The magician is learning a magical practice. It's the first few steps after the beginning of your journey. See, I get the magician. Red sphere? I don't fucking know what a red sphere is. What does that mean for my future?
actually, yeah, that seems problematic because then, like, even if you tried to interpret, like, it's like, oh, color and the fact that it's a like that means different things in different places. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Um, so I don't own any Oracle decks. Oracle's not really my shtick. I have two Rider-Waite Smith tarot decks though.
I'll be honest, I bought this one because it said laser,
Mm, mm, mm,
and because I couldn't afford the Cyberpunk one, it was like
mm.
$22. Well, it's not that I couldn't afford it. I'm just like I'm not. I don't know if I'm committed enough to pay $22 for the deck from Cyberpunk.
Mhm.
So
I'm I like Cyberpunk. I really like the game. I wasn't in love with some of the depictions for a couple of the cards.
uh, that's fair. But
I
I was
thought they were almost too abstract. Which sounds silly in regards to tarot, but I was like, I almost can't even tell what this is supposed to be communicating to me.
fair enough. I could see that. I mean, yeah. I guess if you're going Cyberpunk, there's not exactly like I don't know. Some of that stuff doesn't translate well to like a not medieval setting, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
But anyway, the Rider-Waite Smith is often, at least in my experience, reading tarot, it's very much about telling a story. Um, so your cards are your actors or your concepts or your script, and you sort of your job as the tarot reader is to find the story inside of the cards and tell it to either the person or yourself, depending.
Okay.
One exercise that a lot of tarot practitioners will do, that I definitely support, is they'll actually pick one of the cards out of the major arcana, pull it out of their deck, and they'll do a reading for the card.
Okay.
Which is I know it sounds very silly at first, but it's a very good way to practice because it's super low stress. You're doing a reading for a card. The card is not going to get uppity with you. The card isn't going to give a shit, and also you can't really get it wrong.
All right.
um so if you have a particular card from the major arcana, you mentioned Persona earlier. If you have a favorite card from Persona,
Okay.
I would
I
encourage you to pull that one out.
okay. Uh right. Why? Go. Shouldn't have shuffled. I knew it right where it was before I did that. Okay, and aha! The world though.
Ah, the world, the last card. The end of the major arcana. Well, if you would like, you can do a reading for the card The World.
Okay.
So the idea is you treat the card like your client, but otherwise you're just gonna sort of shuffle at as much as you see fit. Traditionally, if I have a client, I'll offer if they would like to cut the deck after I've shuffled. That's mostly a point of um what am I looking for? Civility? That's not the word I'm looking for, but it's the closest word that I can think of. That's mostly a point of civility because I don't want to look like I'm stacking the deck or counting the cards or what have you. I don't know how to do that shit. I barely know how to shuffle. Sometimes I drop the cards when I shuffle, but
How I shuffle
offer,
cards.
yeah, I
F it,
offer,
shake together.
you know. So I'll offer, if I'm reading for a person, I'll offer them to cut the deck so that they know that I'm not, you know, trying to pull a fast one.
I used to be able to do
Um,
the like.
Decorum? Yes, thank you, Mac. Decorum, absolutely.
Used to be able to do this, but then I've ruined way too many like Yu-Gi-Oh cards doing that, so I stopped doing. It.
Hmm. You
You know
talking
what I
about
mean?
bridge shuffle?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I bridge shuffle my tarot cards, but I wouldn't do that with like a trading card game like Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh.
yeah, and so because I
I'm sure,
used
I'm sure some card nerd would like shit themselves if they saw me bridge shuffling a fucking Magic deck, though.
yeah, well, like I did that for a while, and then I ruined like a bunch of my Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and then
Mhm.
I just stopped doing it because of that, because that's the only type of card I ever played with or did anything with. So then it was like, now I don't actually know how to do that no more.
Yeah, I like doing it with tarot cards because I think it makes the cards look used. And also, you know, just full transparency. I do use tarot in my own magical and religious practices. I consider myself a witch, so you know
Okay.
that means I do tend to approach tarot a little bit differently, a little bit weirder, um, because it's an
Okay.
important part of my belief practice.
I that is interesting. I words.
Words are hard. Words are so fucking hard.
I sort of I'm more of like a just seems fun kind of a thing. I
For sure.
so like
Anyway, what I was saying is,
I guess
so
apologies if I am
no.
disrespectful with any of that. Not intended.
Trust me, you are never going to be as disrespectful as I am to my own practice.
I mean,
I know what my
valid.
beliefs are. I also know that they are very, very silly. Um, and I am happy to point out the flaws and the silliness and inconsistencies within my belief structures.
Okay.
This is a deck of cards. This cannot predict the future. But for some reason, I've convinced myself it can, and I think that's silly.
I mean, fair. Like very fair.
Yep. So, the world.
Yeah.
The easiest way to do a reading is a past, present, and future reading. So, you've shuffled the deck, looking at the world, pull 3 cards off the top and lay them in a row under the world. That's okay. Cool.
I
So,
thought it was gonna be so smooth. I took 3.
first card is the past, second card is the present, and third card is the future from right to left. Wait, left to right? I'm dyslexic.
Am I
Um,
right or screen's right?
uh, your left to your right.
So my left.
Yes, that's card number 1.
Okay.
So that's the past card, the second card is the present card, and the third card is the future card. So the past card is, what is that? 2 of Wands?
2 of Vines.
Haha, yeah, I can even read upside down. I'm getting better.
All right. What does that mean?
That's a great question. As previously mentioned, I am not an expert and I am flipping through my book as fast as I can, but I would like to remind you, as I've just mentioned, I am dyslexic.
No worries.
Reading is hard.
Ah,
So the wands, as for the minor arcana, um, are actually the first suit in the minor arcana, after the major arcana.
Okay.
It's wands, wands, cups, swords, pentacles.
Okay.
The two, um, the two in major or in the minor arcana, in any of the minor suits, usually references a split decision, um, or a decision in general. The two being, um, two different options, two different choices. Very easy way to associate it with a choice, the number two itself.
Okay.
With the introduction of wands, the two of wands results in hesitation, or the concept of hesitating over a decision. Um, the We're going to explore the symbolism on the card, because the goal here is to help teach you how to read, not specifically what the meanings of the cards are by rote, but like how to actually interpret them. You'll notice the man is standing alone. He's got two of his staves, or wands,
Okay.
and he's got his choice to make. He's got his decision, but he's hesitating. He's not sure which stave to pick and go. You'll notice he's alone. The white wall that he's standing on top of is very stark, as a contrast to the yellowness of the countryside back there, just further pulling him out and separating him, and showing his solitude, kind of. um
Okay.
the white of the wall, the rampart that he's standing on top of, very clearly separates him, from the rest of the scene. um and also the framing of the two wands helps further create an almost window facade that he's almost looking out of. Um, Wands usually represent action in the minor arcana, but the twos of the minor arcana always represent a decision, and so while the wands traditionally are more fiery and passionate, in their description, the two of wands sort of stands a bit different in the stillness of the image itself, and also the lack of action, the lack of things going on in the picture. Um,
Okay.
and that sort of helps show off that like hesitation concept. And the thing with readings is each card is further interpreted by each of the next and previous cards. So, with that said, what's our present card?
Also, I noticed he has a globe.
Ah, hell yeah. Sure does. Thinking about all the problems of the world, and yet
Aha.
not making a decision about it.
World. Different.
The world, yeah, you're so right. Synchronicity is an important part of tarot. Pentacles. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
8.
7, 8.
I've seen this exact one from Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny,
Mm.
because they parody this one for crafting of the Pick of Destiny.
Mm, 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 mm.
A bunch of other cards. I actually, when I was flipping through them, I was like, a lot of these look like the Tenacious D movie.
Mm, mm, mm. Well, interestingly enough, the Eight of Pentacles core meaning is working carefully. As you can see, the individual there is working hard on crafting these pentacles. He's already got several that you can see lined up already, and and the individual is working hard. They may be a little tired, but they're very satisfied with their work. Clearly, they're still working after making 7 of these. They're working on their 8th. Um, it's very much a sort of action. Pentacles Earth based. I feel like Pentacles are Earth based, but
What
I can't
is
remember. Uh,
other
it's
than
a star.
yeah? I mean, like I can see it's like a pentagram, but like
So yes, a pentacle is specifically a pentagram with a circle drawn around it.
okay, so it's like a pentagram, but circular. Got it.
Yes.
Hey, Nestex. Okay, so
Yeah, it's a star with a circle around it is what a pentacle is. That is legitimately what it is.
okay. So we have a decision, and then carefully craft something.
Yeah. So it looks like we're working on our decision. It looks like we've made a decision, perhaps even from the past. So previously, we were faced with a tough decision, something we were really hesitating with. But it looks like we are working and we've moved on from our decision. We made a decision. Whether that's the right one or not will remains to be seen. But we are working. We've made the decision and we are working hard for it, which is a good sign. As a general rule, you want to be working carefully, and the Eight of Pentacles is both working but also working hard and carefully. It's very much like a specialist type of work. Like it's like masonry, or that person is, I think, metalworking or something like that with the pentacles. So
Yeah,
it's a very specialized type of work. So it can be hard, but it's also like, you gotta be real careful sometimes.
yeah. Also, it is funny you say that, Nestex. For later. All right. Then I guess this one.
Yeah. What's our
Justice.
future? Justice. Well, it sounds like from our past decision, we made the quote unquote correct decision. It's even possible there wasn't a wrong decision in our decision from the past. It could have been just a choice of two good things, then we just needed to pick one of them.
Yeah,
Sometimes we can't have both of the good things, but either way, we worked hard after our we had a decision. We were faced, confronted with a decision to make, a hard decision, something we hesitated at. And then we worked hard. We made our decision. We did the research, and we had justice, which justice fairly self-explanatory, I think. Um,
yeah. That's like kind of like thought would be like a finalization of.
yeah. For your own personal knowledge, justice being the 11th card in the major arcana, the core meaning that the Justice Major Arcana card has is the consequences of your action are at hand. It isn't inherently like a good thing. It just means whatever you put work into, like for example, the Eight of Pentacles, the work that was put in, the consequences of that work are coming to fruition. Um,
Okay.
the previous cards spread definitely gives more of an indication of like a good thing. Like it's a good, um the justice in this case is good, but it is the just consequences of your actions, basically. Like if your actions was to sit on the couch and eat food that is incredibly bad for you and do nothing else, then the just result of that action is, feeling bad.
Okay.
Feeling like garbage,
Yeah.
so like justice inherently isn't a good thing, but it is the thing that you worked for, you know.
Yeah. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, we had to make a decision. We worked hard on it, and we got the results.
Yeah.
Pretty simple. This one, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool. So I guess all right. So that is the future of the world.
Which makes sense because yeah, there are lots of decisions in the past and there's work going on in the present, and in the future we will see the results of those works. That is in fact the future of the world. um, I would say that that is a very good reading of the world itself and also the card of the world. um, the world in the major arcana is the 21st card. Its core meaning is successful completion. Just in the same way that the Fool, the first card in the major arcana, is the beginning of a journey, the world is the end of that journey. It is successful completion of whatever was set out to be done. Um, it's very much like a ta-da at the end of the magic trick. Um,
Okay,
it's just sort of the end.
all right. I guess yeah.
Yeah, glad that is indeed how fucking cause and effect works. Look, I'm not the one who pulled the cause and effect spread.
I mean, this one just is like very like straightforward. I think it's
Yeah,
just make decision, do something about it. You get results.
for sure, absolutely. But you
Okay.
do kind of see the general idea of how tarot reading works, how you interpret the cards and how you move through them, and how each of them sort of both forward interprets and back interprets on one another. Now that is a past, present, future spread. It is the sort of like core that almost every tarot reader is going to know how to do. And it's also, if you just like ask for a tarot reading point blank from a tarot reader and you don't like have any other information, like you're not looking for like, oh, what's going to happen with my relationship or, you know, the next week or like this business venture specifically. If you're just like, I want a tarot reading and you have no other plans, they'll give you a past, present, future reading because it's just super easy. There are lots of different spreads around. Um,
Yeah, I've seen one that was like fine. That
mm, 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 mm. um, different
or
spreads can mean different things, but also sometimes some readers will just start dealing out cards in a spread that feels correct to them, and as they read the cards they will interpret them in a way that makes sense.
just gonna say yeah. Actually, now that I think about it, I think I've seen them in like shapes too, like cross
Yeah, the Celtic Cross is a really famous tarot spread actually.
or
I am in fact looking for my write-up of on the Celtic Cross that I know is somewhere in here, um, that I was going to talk about while I was yapping. Um,
I
I'm still looking, but
was just gonna say, I hope I didn't mess that up by like rearranging them while they're face down.
nah,
If you
not really.
wanted to try doing that, probably just do that.
Another way that I know a lot of people read is, um, okay, so if you take if you pick up the deck and put it in your hand and you know hold it
Hey,
like long ways across your palm,
hold it the.
if that makes
Oh wait,
yeah,
hey,
yeah,
hey, gotta hold it the long way.
yeah. And so then if you like pull off a significant portion of the deck with your other hand, like a lot of it. Yeah. And then if you shuffle that just sort of like into each other, sort of, yeah. Um
Oh wait, I just thought of something. A question. I'm gonna keep
yeah.
shuffling. It's gonna take a second anyway.
No, no, no. So the concept is sort of, this is so hard to do without being able to show you what I'm trying to talk about. Anyway, there's a thing where you shuffle cards by like holding a very small portion of them in one hand and then dropping like chunks of the deck into your other hand.
Oh wait,
So, yeah, you might know what I'm
and
talking about.
my grandma used to do solitaire.
Oh,
She would,
oh, oh.
she would split it in half and do the shuffle into itself, and then she would go through and go. Then
Yeah,
she'd put
yeah,
them
yeah.
back together in like a random order, something like that.
Yeah, the shuffle, the solitaire shuffle. I actually usually call that the magic shuffle because I usually see magic players doing that shit so that they can split their mana up between their deck more evenly. The mana shuffle.
I was gonna
No,
say.
there's a
Sorry.
hang on.
Doesn't it mean something else if you draw it something upside down?
Yes, reversed and upright are, you can read reversed and upright card positions. I usually don't because there's enough cards in the deck to indicate bad things as it is. I don't need inverse readings to confuse my silly little brain. But yes,
Fair.
inverse readings are very common. As a general, very simplified version, the inverse, like if you draw a card inverted, that basically means the opposite of what that card previously meant, but not in a it used to be good, so now it's bad, but like a direct inversion of the concept talked about of the card. So like with the example of like the 8 of Pentacles, that was our working hard card and being careful, being diligent. Um, an inverse 8 of Pentacles is more likely to be like either slacking off on work or not working as carefully as you should for an important task, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like it's not just not working. It's not the opposite of diligently working, which is just not working at all. It could be, you know, cutting corners. It could be that kind of inversion.
Okay.
All right, what kind of questions have you accumulated so far?
Uh, I have lost all of them that I haven't already asked.
Fantastic.
I'm pretty good about interrupting with my questions if I have them.
Delightful.
Okay. So yeah, so inverse readings, it's like it's not like necessarily opposite. It's just like negative version of.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Interesting. So, part of me is like, what is that like? And now part of me immediately wanted to jump to asking what cards mean, but I'm like, technically
Go for
have
it.
the paper, and then I'm like,
I mean, you do have the paper, but I'm here. I have a book. I have an app on my phone.
what does the world actually mean?
Uh, I thought I covered that one. Completion, the end.
Oh
Much
yes.
like the fool is the beginning, the world is the end. It is the completion of the cycle.
Sorry, I need more RAM.
It's okay. I totally get that. I could use a couple more RAM as well.
So I guess from here we probably go and move on to I guess try other readings then.
We
we
for sure can.
Okay. So, so actually, so what is the like, what is the 3x3 one? 'Cause like I said, I've seen that in movies. That's actually another. So is it just like you just take the two or the rows of three and then just kind of interpret it as you go through the six? Is that just how it tarot works, basically?
It can. I had a list of tarot spreads, and I can't find it for the life of me. I'm very confident that that is a spread, and I'm sure it has genuine meanings. I'm just looking for it. Um,
Okay.
I used to have a bunch of spreads in a tab, but a bunch of my tabs got killed recently.
There. Should probably switch to bookmarks, honestly.
I have too many bookmarks. I can no longer find what I'm looking for. That's why I switched to tabs.
But did you use a browser that lets you put for your tab?
I'm really the worst person about this.
Because like I used to be that
Yeah,
person too
I
with
had
like
like 3 folders and they all got so full.
it's like I used to be the type of person who would have like 128 tabs open at a time,
Mhm.
but I have since made it so that I because I use Opera GX, so I just have since made it so that I'm like I I have like important things tab that only then I have like Selvion tab, and then I have shopping, which is so on and so forth, and they're all just organized that way. And then I have a look at this later tab that I routinely delete 6 months because I didn't look at it and I don't care anymore. Day when I decide to open that entire book, look at all the things I don't care about anymore. Anyway,
My issue is I never stop caring. I just run out of time.
valid. Oh, and I also have the flow thing, so I can just send things. Sometimes I start to read something and I'm like, I could read this better on my phone. Like, before bed or something.
I don't think I've ever had the thought of I would prefer to interact with this on my phone. In fact, I have the exact opposite thought. I have I'll open things up on my phone and I'll be like, "What the fuck am I doing? I have a computer."
Okay, so like
And then I'll send that shit to myself on Discord.
anything that's like a wall of text, I am way better at reading text on my phone. It's like a wall of text. And everything else, I would rather have it on my desktop. So, or I'm okay with it on my phone. I will just not bother to.
Mhm.
All right. So, did you find the thing for the two rows of three? Like I said, I've seen that one in movies a ton. Could be 3 rows of three. I feel like that feels
I didn't. I'm
fair. We could move along then.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. I guess. Here, let's do. How about I'll just try to do one, and you can tell me how I do. I'll try to read tarot for. Let's go with.
Oh, you already drew the cards, babes.
Should I have thought of it beforehand?
Yes.
Hey, got it. Didn't really.
It's okay. It's like I would like so even if you don't believe that's what you're doing, you're like quote unquote divining the future. So you have to think of the question before you ask the funny tarot machine for the answer. Otherwise, it's like, hey, can you give me the answer? And it's like, please specify your query.
Okay, I get it. Okay, I how will my streaming career go this year? Uh,
There you go.
okay. All right. 9 of Wands. So, like a man lost in the forest, kind of. I'll have like
Mm. Which one is it?
9 of Wands.
Okay.
I'm just gonna guess. So, tell me how I did.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Uh
I found all of my tarot spreads, by the way,
oh,
so we can
perfect,
circle back to that later.
perfect. Then I got the Star. I'm gonna guess that means your immediate thought is like North Star, find a thing like a better direction. Then the entry on it is water under a. I don't really know how to interpret that. I'm gonna go with my first thought,
Mm-hmm.
which is the North Star, find a direction kind of a. And Emperor. I'm actually lost now. Here. Um.
You have your little booklet, right?
Yeah. I do, but like, here.
I have owned two tarot decks for 5 years. I still regularly flip through the book that I have of tarot card meanings.
Aliens. Death. Strength and opposition. Possible. That word. Junctus.
Adjunctus? I know what it means, but I can't tell you the dictionary definition. Hang on a second. ADJUNCTUS. OS. OS. Well, you didn't. Yeah, give me that one. To or toward adjunct
Hey,
implies
Storm.
that one thing is joined to another. Oh, it's the joining of things.
Oh. Okay. Still not like doing good. I'm learning how to do tarot cards today.
You're doing great.
Okay, and then Star, lost, privation, abandoned, prospects. Oh well, hope the second one. Um, ability. Um,
pretty hard.
Things. Cut. Here. How do you fold this?
You unfolded it?
Yeah,
Just do that in reverse.
I don't know how it folded any. Like, no wait, that's not right. Wait,
No, those little things are always folded silly.
they're like this right here. Like, look at how that's folded. It's like, okay, but this is the front. So then, like,
Oh, okay. So fold it end to end.
kind of close.
Yeah, that's close enough. Who cares? It's yours.
I mean, yeah, fair. Just like, I am very much the type who would look at that and be like, I need to fold it right, and then it's just like, oh.
All right. So what was your first card? Wands.
9 of
Okay.
Wands, Star
Nine of
Emperor,
Wands.
which, honestly, it kind of, like, I still don't know how to interpret the Emperor in my question, but the first one makes sense. The second one can either be really bad or okay.
Nine of Wands, preparing for the next challenge. The Star, guidance, serenity, and hope. And then Emperor, creating order and stability. That sounds fairly hopeful overall.
So yeah, so I guess streaming career will keep going as it does.
Yeah. There'll be some challenges. As long as you keep your eye on the star, your guidance, your hope, the serenity that streaming provides if you're anything like me, even though that sounds like a psychopath statement. Um and then creating order and stability out of the stream, which is always a good thing for the future. I sent you the Celtic Cross tarot spread.
Oh,
In
funny,
case you're curious, what a spread can sometimes look like.
funny you mentioned.
There,
Looked
yeah,
at it and
there's lots
it's
of different ones.
looks like it's the exact same diagram that came with here.
Oh, probably, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. It's got a Celtic Cross listed in it as a spread. Then, hell yeah, yeah. Like I said, Celtic Cross is one of
I just
the
casually did that correct
very.
that time.
It's possible.
Okay.
And then let's see. You wanted
Dang.
what? 3x3?
Yeah.
2x3.
Well, 2x3. I do 3x3.
3 by 3. I don't see a 3x3, which is what I was worried about. 2x3 though, I do see, which that's not what I wanted to do. Copy image. Labyrinthos has the High Priestess spread, which might
Oh.
be where Hollywood pulled their inspirations.
That does look about right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But there are lots of different spreads for lots of different things. Like there's this Samhain spread that's kind of similar to the High Priestess, but a touch different. Samhain is Halloween, by the way.
Ah, okay. And it's not spelt the way I thought you said it either.
Samhain? Yeah. Spelled Sam Hain.
Yeah, well,
Thank you, Irish people, for your spellings.
how they spell
It is a
spell
Celtic
Sean?
fire festival. Yeah.
Do you know that is the Irish version of John? Like literally,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's funny. Or not funny, interesting because like different names John just like filtered through other languages and back to the starting point again.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, all right, let's try one of those, but I do need a thing to go for probably. So I
Do you
guess
want do you want a meme tarot spread?
Hero spread.
A meme tarot spread.
Sure. Is this your perception, truth of your situation? Okay, so we have the your perceptions, truth of your situation, and do I have to have a specific thing in mind, or is it just like vaguely about me?
Oh, this one, tarot spreads sometimes will be just about you, and you won't have to set an intention.
Okay, cool. So
Just of your current situation is usually how
it's
this is
the
interpreted.
is this a bird meme?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, wait, that one's like okay. Me, Three of Pentacles. Undo the book again.
Yep.
It's just stop doing that. What? Where? It's gonna
Three
bother
of
me every time
Pentacles.
too.
That's not too bad, actually.
Side baby. Pentacle. Sculptor at his work in a I would not have put free meaning. Um Word? M E with an not tier? Trade skilled labor you part of no aristocracy noun glory. Glory.
I have it down as a goal is manifesting. Consulting schematics, searching for nuance. Um, I know usually it can suggest a solitary undertaking if the magician is with it, but I don't know what other cards you've got down there, so.
Flip them yet. So
Yeah.
my perceptions. Three of Swords.
Woof!
Oh.
Woof! Hey, on the bright side, that's your perceptions. That's not the reality of the situation. Three of Swords is kind of brutal. Sorrow caused by knowledge is what I have it down for.
Oh, I that actually that's fitting actually.
Yeah, that's why I said woof.
Oh no.
You'll notice the imagery
Like
of the Three of Swords is very, swords stabbed through a heart kind of
yeah.
thing.
Oh no. I'll be honest, I straight up talk myself into being depressed a lot. Oh no. Just like, oh yeah, I know everything statistically isn't gonna work out well for blah blah blah. It just that all the time. I'm like, why did I read about that then? Just gonna make me all right. Yeah, overthinking basically.
Yeah, overthinking.
Three of Cups.
Okay,
Uh,
all minor arcana, not a bad thing.
Three of Cups. All threes.
Yeah, very interesting. And in fact, I will run you a numerology uh deployment of what threes traditionally translate to. Three of Cups.
Gardens. Cups uplift. Pledging one. Very meaning. Matter. Affection. Merit. Happiness. Solace and also there's a typo in the instructions.
Classic.
Is cups. They put two cups. Like
I have it down as a spontaneous, unexpected joy or pleasure.
yeah.
So we've got you, a goal is manifesting.
Two
We've
faux
got
cups.
your perception, sorrow caused by knowledge, and your reality, a spontaneous or unexpected joy or pleasure.
Ah,
All in all, not too horrendous of a read, I don't think.
yeah. Like yeah. Not not too bad. I'm still kind of shook
So
that the perceptions one felt so accurate.
yeah, that's tarot, unfortunately. Uh Tarot's real good at reading you to filth for reasons that have yet to become clear to me. I'm like, you're a stupid deck of cards. What do you mean? Why are you making me cry?
And that was a meme.
Yeah,
Okay. Interesting.
there's a few different meme spreads. I love them so much because they're so silly. There's that one I sent to you. Then
Not
there's
dissecting my psyche.
similar. Yeah, there's a similar one.
Oh.
Then of course there's the ever classic.
Oh, okay. So she sent me the "this
And
is fine"
similar.
and the jealous girlfriend meme, and also the like "turn right here" meme. You're like thing you were going for, much better option. Drifting and oh, and the despicable meme. That's great. Oh, the yeah. The getting like, why would you do this? Why would so another thing do this? Oh, that's great.
those are the main meme spreads that I have.
Kind of want to do the fine one just because I. Fun fact: just commissioned new notes. Actually,
Oh, that's sick.
so little cell on fire with a blank expression is coming.
Hell yeah.
There you. There's a spoiler for game for that. For who died. Okay, I am eighth of wines, according to this. Does it mean something differently if you just sit in like multiple for like self?
Not inherently. Admittedly, doing multiple readings for yourself for the same topic in a row sort of eventually you'll just end up pulling all of the cards out of the deck for your readings, like statistically, if you keep doing a reading for the same thing. Um, so once again, not specifically for yourself, but like for the same topic for yourself over and over again, you sort of end up muddy the waters for your initial read just due to the, you know, you're statistically going to eventually draw every card in the deck for a reading. So if you keep reading on the same topic on yourself, like basically if you keep asking the same question from the Magic 8 Ball, you'll get all of the responses the Magic 8 Ball can provide.
Fair, fair. Yeah, you know what? That's like giving your fortune back at like a teller,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
like the paper one. Like, or going to the Zoltar the genie and just putting in like $20 when it's
Yeah, exactly.
yeah okay.
So like it's not like bad, but like it's not great either, you know. It's not gonna curse you or some silly thing, but it's just sort of why would you do that?
I mean, yeah, it loses meaning and
Yeah, exactly.
okay. What's next? Oh,
I did send you one last one of that is we did a couple 3 card spreads previously. I introduced past, present, future to you. That is a separate 3 card spread. Just to show you an example of how tarot spreads can be laid out in the same way and also could have the same number of cards but are asking different questions, and therefore the different cards may have a slightly different way of interpreting them.
okay. Why does it feel like things are taking a shit in my life? How can I turn this shit train around? What lesson is coming out of this shitstorm? That one actually feels a little bit different, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We'll do that one, and then I guess we can either.
We can open it up to your chat if your chat wants to learn, or if your chat wants a reading, or
and move on to the wild cards.
yeah.
All right. Sounds good. Okay, why does it feel like things are taking a shit in my life? The devil. All right, well. Yeah, all right. Sounds about right.
No, the funny thing here is the devil is probably not what you think.
Okay.
The devil doesn't represent the devil like the Christian devil. The devil is an issue of your own creation. You'll notice on the card that the people presented with the devil are feeding it, providing it energy and sustenance, despite it being a problem for them. Um,
Chain chair.
yeah, admittedly, sometimes the Rider-Waite Smith can be a little fucked up with its imagery. The devil is very often a choice, situation, or action that is contrary to your best interest, traditionally, that you are keeping yourself in.
Okay.
So it is a bad thing, but it's not like the Christian devil. It's just sort of like, hey, there's an unhealthy thing going on, and you have the power to change it. Um, Often traditionally in tarot, the devil is sort of a perversion of the lovers and of like the Hierophant. So like it's a teacher and it has a lesson to provide to you, but it's not a fun one. It's not an enjoyable one. There's a decision that was made, but unlike the lovers who chose the optimal path, the good one, the path that didn't have quite so much bullshit on it, the devil is the choice of the bullshit. Um
Ah, okay.
so why does it feel like things are taking a shit in your life? Um some of it is because you're in a situation or action that is contrary to your best interest, and you have opted to stay there for a specific reason.
Okay. I yeah, already really got it.
Yeah, sorry. Unfortunately, tarot gets very real very quickly.
How can I turn it around? The High Priestess.
Man, lots of major arcana in this reading already. Big energy here. High Priestess, something that can only be understood through experience. So you need more experience, which is not great as far as the devil goes, because that sort of sounds to me already like you have to learn the lesson that the devil is teaching you, which is always a hard and shit ass lesson. It will make you better for it, but it sucks learning it.
Learn the bad lesson. Learn some more. Telling me to go back to school? What's happening? High Priestess.
That means whoever wrote up the tips and tricks section of your tarot deck was sexist.
Alright. Go, misogyny. Let's go. Alright. Fair enough.
That person felt funny about a card representing them that was feminine, and therefore added a little thing in the notes to make themselves feel better. It is not different if you're reading for a male presenting person, a masculine presenting person, or a feminine presenting person. The High Priestess is the High Priestess.
The funny part is they left Empress and Emperor, like Empress.
Hilarious.
Just like, yeah, no, Priestess, no. Empress, fine.
Mm.
And Four of Wands.
Okay, not all major arcana. That's good. Four of Wands. Wands are fire, right? Maybe wands are water. Oh, cups are water.
Great Garland. Gays. What? Gay. Gays? It was gay. Yo, LGBT powers for Pride. Pride is a bridge over. That is on. Um, like there's a bridge. There's. Uh, and Noriel are for almost on the surface. Country life, pose, parity, affected.
Okay, my book has the core meaning of celebrating the culmination of events or the achieving of a goal.
Okay.
Okay,
So
your booklet is weird, and I'm suspicious of the person who wrote it.
there. I mean, it is a tiny little booklet that came with the cards. So, I guess I'll leave them a review on Amazon. Jeffrey. Jeff. Jeffrey
If I
Bays.
can, what the frick? Oh, here we
Eh?
go. If I can, There's a paperback book that if you are interested in tarot, I've sent you an Amazon link for. You can probably toss it on your throne. Um,
Fair.
that is an author that I deeply trust, um, who has produced a guidebook for tarot, Tarotorial, which is an incredible name. Um, it's fully illustrated, um, and they also sell. This is by not to get too promo-y, but this is by a company called Raven and Rogue, which are really rad people.
Okay.
But they have the territorial guidebook, but they also have territorial tarot deck that has a bunch of, or that has all of the cards meanings listed right on them, as well as all of the illustrations. So if you would like a deck that's a little easier to get through, if you would like more tarot, I would recommend those two things.
Okay. Interesting.
Anyway, the guidebook has a ton more information than even I am able to provide to you, like a bunch of the different elemental associations with all of the cards, which is very cool.
Huh. Interesting.
Anyway, um,
All right. So,
that was mostly just for you.
well, thank you. I appreciate it. This is this is really cool and interesting.
Mhm.
Okay, shuffle my deck again. If anybody wants their tarot read properly before we move on, I will try to do that, and then we can move on to the wild cards.
Mhm. Also, Sel, I have two decks. One is a steampunk deck, and one is a deck that I will not be using this evening. But if you would like a reading as well from the other side, please feel free to ask.
Sure,
I
that'd
am,
be
however,
fine.
I'm gonna really quick get up and get a drink. Keep talking. I have wireless headphones.
You got it. Okay. So, oh, okay. Mac would like a reading. Got it. I will try to. I will read your cards. Okay. Okay. One. Three. I felt like counting out loud. Okay. Getting my booklet ready. And we've got the Queen of Pentacles. So that means. So yeah, every time I've ever had my tarot read before by people, they always end up doing it so. I assume it's just like.
Yes, very much. Familiarity lends to speed. It's much easier when you don't have to cross-reference all of the cards in a book or a little sheet or what have you.
Yeah, valid, makes sense. Queen of Pentacles. Face suggests that of a dark woman. Pretty pale to me. I had to judge words of an artist. Um, qualities might. Joking. I assume it means that she does. It's because she doesn't look happy. Qualities might be summed up in the idea of greatness. Of also has the serious cast of intelligence. Whatever that exact means. Yes, she looks smart. Contemplates her symbol. My and my sea worlds therein.
Shamu?
Wrong kind of sea world. Um, I see whatever that means. Divinatory meetings, opulence, generosity, security, magnificent, and liberty. Okay. Yeah, Mac, you're inheriting SeaWorld. Congratulations. That's what the cards say for.
Cheer one here, take my biddy and love it, y'all weird looking churros.
Oh, thank you, Phoenix. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the video. I'm learning tarot today. Love fish. Hey, so Queen of Pentacles means you have opulence, generosity, security, and magnificence of liberty. Got the Page of Pentacles. I didn't even notice there was Page. I assume that's like the equivalent.
Cheer one, have another one for the itty bitty titty committa.
Yo, thank you. Thank you for sponsoring the Itty Bitty Titty Committee with one biddy.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, Phoenix.
They like jacks. Yes, you're correct.
Thank you for sponsoring Itty Titty Committee. I just realized.
Cheer one, I'ma go take a shit now. Phoenix out.
Alright. Have fun, Phoenix. Thank you for the pity. Page of Pentacles, a youthful figure looking intently at the pentacles, hovers over raised hands. Story meanings, application, study, scholarship, reflection. Other readings, news, messages, and the bearer thereof. Rule management. Or not even also, it's allow. A-L-A, I think that's a typo again.
Mm-hmm. Which
Really
makes me more suspicious of this booklet.
Yeah, like, I feel like one typo is, like, understandable, but the fact that now I've found, like, another one, and then it also had weird sexist notes in it, now is concerning. And then we've got the Queen of Wine. Kinda not really sitting and interpreting things. Right? A lot of time just finding stuff. Queen of Wine. Throughout this suit, the wands are underneath. Of life, animation. Emotionally and otherwise, the Queen's personality corresponds to that of the King. Or magnetic. Story meanings, a dark woman or a country woman. Friendly, chaste, loving, honor. Card beside her signifies a man. He is well disposed. When she is in or rent. Whatever that
Current.
means.
The person asking.
Oh,
The
querent.
person who has submitted the query. The query.
Yes,
yes,
okay. I got it.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I've never seen that word phrase. I've never seen that word.
Fairly common in tarot because you have the asker of the question, the querent, that you're reading for.
Okay, so we've got Pentacle, Queen and Page of Pentacles.
If I can provide you alternate readings, the Queen of Pentacles, as far as my book is concerned, is someone who supports and nurtures the physical world, resources, and finances. The Page of Pentacles is someone who is ready to try something new in the physical world or with resources or finances. And the Queen of Wands is someone who supports and nurtures the will, inspiration, and passions of others.
Oh, okay. I think that fits you, Mac. Well, actually, do those mean anything together like that, actually?
Is this like a past, present, future reading? Is this
Yeah, that's what, that was the intention of it.
Okay, so sitting in the past is our Queen of Pentacles, correct?
Correct.
So in the past, someone who supports, nurtures the physical world, resources, and finances. Pentacles is very often linked to the earth and money. Then in the present, I believe we have the Queen of Wands, correct?
No. In the present is Page of Pentacles. In the future is Queen of
Ah.
Wands.
Gotcha. Had those backwards. In the present, then, we have someone who is ready to try something new in the physical world with resources or finances. So in the past, we had someone who already supported and nurtured the physical world, resources, and finances. And then in the present, we have someone who is ready to try something new in that same world. So maybe you're interested in expanding something that you already do, specifically in regards to the physical world. And that I've said finances a lot here. That isn't specifically referring to money, but also physical resources. And I don't mean just like land, but I also that could be time as well. But the physical nature of things instead of more metaphysical or psychological things, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And then in the future, we have someone who supports and nurtures the will, inspiration, and passion of others. So it seems very much like we have a pretty consistent through line of support here. We have lots of feminine, matronly energy, especially with two queens and a page. So very, very much somebody who enjoys nurturing other people through whatever means they already have, like time, money, art, uh, you know, a kind word. I can't
Yeah.
name off all of and also somebody who's interested in expanding their range of of things that they help and enjoy nurturing other people in. And all of these words, please, all of these words have a very personal and intimate charge to them. I don't want you to hear this is a super intimate relationship kind of thing. Nurturing can take the form of all different things, from teaching to, just lurking in a stream,
Yeah.
As a streamer, that's very nurturing to me. When I see the funny number go up, big fan, big nurturing. Um Yeah, so somebody who's interested in expanding uh their resources and expanding what they do with those resources. And it sounds like not only will it happen, it will go pretty well in the future. It sounds like you will continue to nurture people with all of the resources at your disposal. But yeah, that's how I would interpret that, give or take.
Interesting. There you go, Mac. All right. Actually, of very broad meanings.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the thing with a lot of this stuff. Is a lot of the time it is kind of broad, just so that like you can see your stuff yourself in it.
Yes. So there are two different takes on tarot in the mainstream. There is the mystic take that I tend to fall on the side of, a deity or a spirit or what have you is guiding the cards and the reading to come out a certain way. But then there's the other reading of tarot, which is it's sort of like journaling in that it's helpful psychologically to just look at these images and relate them to yourself so that you sort of think through certain things. Like, when people recommend journaling, it's usually about, something going on in your life that you're really stressed about. So tarot sort of takes the form of that and helps abstract it in a certain way, that can be psychologically helpful, but the cards inherently don't have any meaning other than what they provide to you.
Oh,
Um,
it's kind of like
so the
meditation.
broad meaning, yeah, exactly, very much like a meditation kind of thing, and similar with meditation, because some people believe in, like myself, in mystical properties of meditation, the ability to contact entities or deities or what have you. And then there's the purely psychological benefit of just being still with your thoughts and, you know,
Yeah,
understanding how your brain works.
yeah. Pretty much like force your brain to stop anxiety. I used to do that.
Mhm.
I should do that again. I should go back to doing that regularly. I have a question.
Mhm.
If a card is stuck in the box for the entire time of this, does that what that card is mean anything?
Probably not. What was it though?
Nine of Pentacles.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
You had the Eight of Pentacles earlier, so that's kind of interesting. The thing with things meaning anything is it only means something if you would like to give it meaning. Um, Syncreticity, or the seeing of a pattern that may or may not be there, is very common in mysticism and sometimes fairly important. You said it was the Nine of Pentacles?
Yeah.
Accomplishment is the core meaning. Um, the Nine of Pentacles is very much self-sufficiency, independence, accomplishment, meeting specifically financial or physically, like physical world related goals. Like I said, pentacles are very often associated with finances and the earth. The earth is usually associated with finances. That goes back to ancient Greek concepts, with Hades being the ruler of the underworld, both in the lands of the dead, but also the physical under the earth world, which contained all of the gems and precious minerals. So,
Interesting.
anyway,
All right.
um,
Wild card
yeah,
time.
I hope, yeah, if you would like to.
Okay. So, since literally, I've had this idea literally since Cyberpunk told me that the first time that you potentially read with for tarot with Pokemon cards potentially.
Yeah.
I have Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I've got Magic the Gathering cards, and I got One Piece cards. And I have one other idea for a variant on how you could do on Magic. Already.
Hell yeah.
Thought that was kind of fun. That's the fact that I have a I have a boot.
Mm-hmm.
That would be kind of a fun trying to do. Just open trading card booster pack. Just be like if you only bought one and that was all.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I have no idea if any of that is valid whatsoever. Told me people
Could
could
be.
do it with Pokemon. Thought it'd be
Did you say you also had a deck of regular playing cards?
uh somewhere. I don't know where. I
Okay.
have completely lost my zombie Pokemon. Got
Totally fine. I just figured I would ask.
yeah. I chips. There, gathering Anyway, and or zombie Magic the Gathering done in the cool art style from a webcomic I like. Somewhere. All right.
What would you like to start with?
Hmm. Which one would you like to start with? I have no actual. I think this is mostly just me and or.
All right. Well, let's. I'm probably the most familiar with Magic, so let's start with Magic.
Okay. Booster pack or deck?
Let's start with deck.
Okay.
You said you have an unopened booster pack. Is that correct?
I have one unopened. Well, technically, I have a bunch of unopened packs.
Gotcha.
Box that I bought like 6 years ago that probably should have not kept unopened and sold, but here we are. So I don't even need. I have no idea. Okay.
So, what would you like to ask of the Magic cards?
How about we just start with like I don't even know. Okay. Let's try reading your tarot with Magic. I've read my
Okay.
tarot like 4 times, so
For sure. That's what I'm here for. All right. Well, we'll do an easy past, present, future though. We're most familiar with that so far.
Why? I see Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah, well. Tyler Rano, welcome back. All
Hello,
right.
Ano.
So your first card cast is Zenith Flare.
Okay.
Er.
So, yeah, I was gonna say, give me a close up, and also, all right, we've got some blues. What is it? Red, white, with 2 colorless. Okay. Deal X damage to target, gain X life, X number of cards. Cycling ability in your graveyard. Okay.
Looks
Okay.
like
Red,
there's a
white,
star.
gain life, damage. There's a star. Gain life is helpful. Cycling abilities in your graveyard. So there's already been sacrifices made. There is a potential to recover and deal back damage. Now this is in more of a metaphysical sense. Damage in the uh injury to pride concept rather than physical health points. Yeah, let's call that there. Let's see how we go from here.
All right. Your present. You've got of one mind.
Okay.
Lighting is a bitch. So.
Yeah, lighting is a bitch. 1 blue, 2 colorless. Sorcery spell costs 2 less cast if you control a human creature and a non-human creature. Draw 2 cards. Okay, so it drops the 2 colorless if you have a human and a non-human. So it's just 1 blue. God damn. First of all, I have so many questions about this deck already. You have white, red, and blue in it.
I think this might not. I don't think this is actual. This is just all the cards I had in penny sleeves.
Six.
Deck
Hell yeah.
sized stacks.
Yeah. That makes sense. Okay, so we have the horse, we have the girl, we have the taming of one mind. Okay. So this is of one mind. I think this would be sort of a calm, but like a calm in the midst of the storm kind of idea. Where the peace is found within friends and family members, and the ones closest to us. So in the past we've had sacrifices with a setup. Those sacrifices were on purpose to set up our ability for retribution, and the present is sort of a calm in the midst of a storm idea of calm being provided by loved ones, family members, friends, the like.
Okay. And your future. Snare tactician.
That doesn't sound great for me.
Oh wait.
Let's see. So white card, 2 colorless. Snare tactician. Whenever you cycle a card, tap target creature and opponent controls. Oh. Okay, well we have tactician. It sounds like the previous sacrifices were a good choice. Despite the name of the card, this sort of sounds like a positive. Obviously the imagery in the card is dark, foreboding. It's a fight, but we sort of had the allure of a fight with the previous card, or the alluding of a fight to the previous card with the storm imagery.
Okay.
So there is a fight going on, but it's sort of, granted, magic cards are always useful to the caster, so that is taint tainting, probably the closest word that I'm gonna get. Probably tainting my read a little bit, because cards are rarely detrimental to the person whose deck they're in. But we have very much a tactical from the past good. We made our sacrifices. We have our tactics that we are employing now in the future. I say now in the future, that sounds silly, but in the future.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, it's like by target if you think about it, because this is like,
yeah,
it's dark, but it means like that's kind of like good because it's a dark thing you are doing unto others.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like, you're succeeding at someone else's expense, kind of.
These not be in the deck of the opponent in this case? I wouldn't think so. Tarot is not. Usually you're working with your tarot deck. It's your deck. And when you do a reading, it can be for you or for a querent. I guess you could argue that the spirit who's providing the reading is actually the wielder of the deck, but I still wouldn't think you'd be in the magic game in this. Oh, this is really breaking down here. But because we don't have a deck representing us, I wouldn't think that the deck would be the opponent in this case. No.
It's
A fair
like,
question, though.
it just made me think, like, just like a tarot reading live of a Magic the Gathering game. For each people, I guess.
I feel like that would just end with the end of the. It's like, well, I think the end of our reading is the winner of our game is going to go on to riches, wealth, fame, and glory, and the loser of our game is going to die in a car crash in 10 minutes.
Yeah. uh, okay. Does anyone want? Do you want to do another Magic the Gathering one? Do you want to do the? I don't. I don't even know anymore.
I guess the tarot reader is getting sent to the Shadow Realm.
Funny part is I can immediately think of like what Pot of Greed. Like that's like not a hard thing to wrap my brain around. From like talking about like, oh yeah, Pot of Greed. Draw 3 cards. No. But Shadow keep coming. All right. So interesting. I kind of want to do Magic the Gathering. All right. Let's go. Magic the Gathering. I'll do it for me. Can move on to the next type. All right, we've got Lull Mage's Familiar, which is some kind of.
Green, blue.
It is some kind of lizard backpack.
In a backpack. Okay. Tap, add green or blue. Okay, it's a mana tap card. Whenever you cast a kick spell, you gain 2 life. That must be a new concept that I'm unfamiliar with. I don't know what the fuck a kick spell is.
I don't know what a
Um,
kick spell is either.
mm,
To be fair, I have my I am like my Magic the Gathering deck is completely banned from being like something like 10 expansions out of date.
mm-hmm.
So yeah, I assume a kick spell would be kind of like a spell that you can't like use. I think I'd assume.
Mm-mm-mm.
I'm not sure. I know there's ways to get like spells out of your discard. All right, and then we've got. I didn't even look at it this time. Durable Coil Bug. That doesn't sound good.
From graveyard to hand, black. Green, blue, black. Okay.
Like, yeah, some kind of.
Graveyard to your hand. Yeah, we've had a lizard, we've had a bug. Returning from graveyard to hand, returning tap for mana, and also what did it do to the kick spell? Returns it to
Uh,
graveyard.
gain
discard
2 health for every time you use a kicked spell.
health gain from cast, and then mana and more health gain. Okay.
I
Seems like a
mean,
decently yeah, it seems pretty positive actually. But like I said, I feel like Magic cards and trading card games inherently will be
well, I mean,
fairly positive.
even if you go off like the image, I'm not like that's kind of where I went with that. I'm just like, oh no, black might not be good because
Mm-mm-mm.
the black one, and then it's a bug. I can't imagine a bug is very good. Oh hey, 3 creatures in a row. Lava Serpent.
Lava Serpent red. Oh, we have every color here except white. Interesting. Haste, cycling to tap 2, discard this card, draw a card. Okay. 5/5 red.
White is also my least liked Magic the Gathering color.
That's interesting. I like white. But I like life ramp.
It's mostly just because the stuff on white tends to be kind of boring.
That's true. Humans and angels.
Yeah. I mean, I do really like, I have one white deck that's like white as dinosaurs. So I'm like, oh, that one's okay. It's like, most of the other times white's like peasants. Just like, yes, I played my 3rd peasant card.
Yeah, okay. So we've got a creature in a backpack, and then a lava serpent and a bug. So I'm past creature in a backpack, very much like you sort of went with other people places instead of actively striking out on your own. But that wasn't inherently a bad thing because there were lots of things that you needed to learn, and you learned them through that experience. And then middle card, the bug more feels like almost striking out on your own, and kind of like Max said, aid coming to you from an otherwise negative place. I do like that interpretation a lot actually, but also that feels almost like the natural progression of the backpack creature, not into a bug, but like striking out now on their own. They're no longer hanging around, the possession of another person, the backpack in this concept. They're out in the big woods, a little bug, but exploring and doing pretty okay, all things considered. And
Okay.
moving into the lava serpent, that's sort of like the natural rounding out. Like you started in the backpack and now you have like a giant pool of lava that you're hanging out in. If that makes sense.
I can
Um
see.
like you have your own place that you've sort of settled into, and it's good for you environmentally. You're not like traveling like you were when you were in backpack phase. You weren't going around with people, and you've also stopped your solo exploration from the present phase into a fully evolved, in your element, thriving, a little pricey, but that's okay. Um,
Found a home.
yeah.
Okay. I like it. All right. All right. I have. What do you want a Magic the Gathering reading? You could actually no. We should move on. Well, actually, hold on. Wait. One Zendikar Rising booster pack.
Oh,
There.
yes, yes, yes.
Gonna do that idea. This is 16 cards though.
Okay, so we are going to eliminate lands and filler cards, and the primary reading is going to come from your legendary card, whatever is in there.
Okay.
Whatever good card is always in, the booster packs.
Wait. Do they put it at the back or in the middle with
I
back? Okay.
Back.
Then we'll just flip when we're ready to go. Then.
Cool.
All right. So we've got Scavenged Blade.
These are a lot more cards, so we will go fairly quickly because we'll need like a spread of them, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So Scavenge Blade, keep going. We'll save
Okay.
interpretation for the end because
Chilling Trap.
16 cards is a lot for a reading. Chilling Trap, okay. Blue.
Smite the Monstrous. I
Okay.
can't even tell what creature's on that. Hold on, wait. You can't tell what creature's on it. It looks like a cow almost. Mind Drain, which is like a vampire lady. Adventure Awaits. It's like a D&D party. Shepherd
Okay.
of Heroes. Angel. Living Tempest. Storm. Turn Timber Ascetic. It's a giant. God, I'm running out of space.
Yeah.
Didn't think this through. Wait. Okay, wait. Yeah, Zendikar Rising was set from a couple years ago. I don't know. Cleansing Wildfire. Fire. Jario Snarecaster, an elf with rope. Insect. Rider Wizard. Song of Mad Treachery. Forming. And that is it. Also, real quick, what the hell is this card? Why would they give me this? Like,
Filler card.
my brain,
Classic.
my brain immediately writes this off as trash. Like, why? Why did you give me this?
There's always one trash card inside of a booster pack. It's either a filler card or like a basic land or some shit.
Like, they give me a basic land too. That's the funny part. So I was kind of more expecting, like, usually it's like a code for.
That is not a basic land. That is a full art land. That is different.
Okay, full art land. Got it. and it's green. We'll
Yeah,
add
we are.
add
As far
that.
as like reading it, we are still eliminating it, but full art lands are considered rarer than basic lands. That's why that is considered a card that you received. And I do think they're worth a little bit more than your standard land because you can go to any Magic the Gathering card shop and be like, "Can I have a couple lands?" And they'll be like, "Yeah, here's 12."
True.
Not really anymore. Oh, well, never fucking mind then.
Okay, so we've got a red sword, a blue trap, killing a monster with 4 white. We've got vampire, D&D party, angel,
A
storm.
D&D party and their protector, because that is protector of adventurers, I believe, and the first one was adventuring party. So
Yeah. And storm, giant, fire, or like a wildfire, elf with a rope on the side of a mountain, bug, wizard with wings, somebody hearing music and screaming, somebody making something out of lava. What you got for me?
there are so many cards.
Uh,
Even some of the larger tarot spreads.
they probably don't have.
16 cards is a fuck ton.
Or how about we eliminate one type of card? How about that? Would that help? Creatures or sorcerers?
What's that?
Let's eliminate one type of card. Creatures or sorceries? Have the most.
Let's duck sorceries.
Fair.
Feel like creatures will be easier to read. Okay, I did find a tarot spread that contains 12 cards. It is a astrological spread. So it references all of the heavenly bodies, the sun, all of the planets, and then the stars, respectively.
Hey, this seems a lot more doable.
Probably. What was your rare card? What was your super rare card? I would actually like to include that in it, even if it was a sorcery.
If it is Song of the.
I think so. Cool. Okay. So we've
Oh,
got.
it's but
Oh, that's interesting.
yeah. I always
All right,
wondered how those
let's-
work because you can just see them top of your deck.
Uh, usually you have your flip cards out and also unsleeved, I think. And then you have the token that you would put in.
Oh, actually, that
Unsleeved.
makes a lot of sense. Okay.
Yeah. All right, so let's see your first card now. I know it hasn't changed, but let's go through them again now that we've altered our set.
All right, we've got sword. It is an equipment card. It is 1 red, 3 anything. Focus camera.
You're good. Okay. So we've got an equipment. We've got a sword. What's your next card?
But it's 1 fire, 1 anything. But chilling trap.
Okay. So we've got a trap. We've got more equipment. Interesting. Of course, imagery is the wizard getting caught in the trap.
Then we got Smite the Monstrous, which is. This is somehow not a sorcery, just an instant card. Destroys target, and they're blowing up. I have a through line going already, kind of. Wizard.
Yeah, we sure do.
It's like blowing up
Okay,
a
okay.
giant monster.
Yeah, we've got equipment, and then we've got a trap, and we've got the trap going off.
Got an angel. Actually,
Mm, okay. Shepherd of Heroes, pretty solid.
like just a.
Was that adventuring party a sorcery?
It was,
Oh, interesting.
but I believe it was like you declare your like the cards you have in adventuring party, and then they get a bonus thing.
Oh, cool.
Living Tempest, like a storm.
Like a storm, okay.
Right. Giant forest. Not even just that, a giant cleric.
Okay, okay.
And then we've got the Juru Snarecaster, which is an elf climbing a wall with a rope.
Elf Rogue, okay. We've got some equipments, we've got some traps, we've got a protector, we've got an adventurer, it sounds like, a rogue specifically.
We got a bug.
We've got a bug, a creature companion. Okay, okay. We're setting up for a little bit of a story here. We've got something going.
Then we have the Song of Mad Treachery,
Okay.
or we could take that side of it. Song of Mad Ruins.
Oh, interesting. Okay, treachery into ruins, although that is a land. But
It's like an artifact land. You play this, and then you
it's
get
an
the
artifact land. Yeah, okay. Gotcha. Okay.
have Windrider Wizard. Here's our wizard with wings now.
Okay. Okay, so we've got a couple adventurers. We've got a protector of those adventurers. We've got some equipment that those adventurers will employ. One of those is a rogue, so we do have a trap and a sword here. Then we also have a sorcery. Now, granted, we have a wizard with wings, and I noticed that they are next to that sorcery, which I requested to include, obviously. But so I'm sort of thinking our wizard with wings is maybe a bad person, considering the name of the spell of treachery. And also the end result of that spell being ruin. So this could be like a warning read. We've got traps, we've got adventurers, we've also got protectors in the mix. Um so this could be like a warning, maybe one of your friends, not yours specifically, because this is much more of a vague reading. It's not tuned to a person. Um, but maybe someone, your friend isn't quite what they seem. They're about to become, you know, a traitor, a treacherous. They're about to betray you in some way. But there isn't just the betrayer. There is also a protector in the mix. You have some tools, you have some equipments, um, to sort of fight back against such treachery. Yeah, this almost reads a little bit like a warning from my take.
Interesting. Okay. I feel like this would be way more practical with a card booster pack.
Yeah, probably.
All right. More I'm thinking about it, I don't think One Piece cards would actually work.
It would probably be very challenging. I don't know enough about the characters of One Piece to provide a good read, I think.
Yeah. Also, they're mostly just characters with background. I sat and thought about that.
Mm.
So I'm not sure how well they would. There's a fish, but like I said, for the most part, the more I thought about it, I'm like those probably won't work. But our last our last type probably can work at least as well as Magic the Gathering did. It's Yu-Gi-Oh! Fish.
Fish.
Eve. Okay. thought this would be particularly funny because there's stuff like battle tanks.
Mm-hmm.
And this will probably be the last one. Wrap up. I just thought this would be funny.
Yeah, I'm having a great time.
Here. Okay. Wait. This will be for me then. I'll do you go. Okay, we've got the Eye of Truth.
Okay.
Got Sogen,
Promising so far.
which is a field. And we've got Trap Hole.
Damn, that's crazy. I didn't know they made a card about me. Sorry, I probably shouldn't make that joke, should I?
I. uh, okay, what do you got for that?
All right, so we have passed. Eye of Wisdom, right? Eye of something?
Eye of Truth.
Eye of Truth. I was close. Wisdom, truth, something like that. That sounds pretty promising. Obviously more Egyptian mythology. We've got Egyptian symbolism, although we do have a couple Greek symbols on there too, which is interesting, but never mind that.
That's just how Yu-Gi.
Yeah, I know.
Japan loosely interpreting. It's basically Japan like mythologizing all of Western mythology together.
Mm-hmm.
You got Sogen, which is a field. Do again.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can I get what these cards do? Because I definitely used what the magic cards did in my interpretations.
Okay, or I'll just read it. The text is way smaller on these ones.
Yeah, no, Yu-Gi-Oh does paragraphs of text.
Eye of Truth. As long as the card remains face up on your opponent by turn, he or she has a card in there. So you get to know what your opponent has at a price of their benefit.
Mm.
So
Interesting.
Sogen gives a bonus to all monster and beast type cards of 200 points. Both you and your opponent. And the Trap Hole just instantly kills anything that's stronger than 1,000 points.
Okay. This one doesn't sound as good as the magic cards. Not as what am I looking for? Not as rose tinted of a reading. Definitely sounds like some bad things going on in here. We have an Eye of Truth, so past being very much a sorry, I'm struggling with terms here. Past being the Eye of Truth, you know, we were able to see the truth. However, the truth was that our opponent in the grand metaphysical concept was gaining life just due to our correct knowledge. They were just getting stronger because we happened to be able to see all of the true things. So go out to the field, go out to the fucking fields where everyone is uh I'm looking for a real specific term, and it's really not coming to me.
Oil?
The no, the field where everyone is like equal, but like the
Ah,
equal isn't exactly the specific term I'm looking for. Um, it's like when normalization is the term that's coming to me, but that is an audio editing term, and that is not helpful in this scenario. Um, yeah, it's like when a place uh that you go to and like all of the unequal benefits have been removed. My brain's not working. Anyway, you go out to the field where you're only fighting with your fists and nobody else has any other power. Everybody is equal in the fight club. Um,
yeah,
you know,
level playing field.
yeah, level playing field. Yeah. That's sort of the concept there because like yeah, your beast monsters get plus 200 life points, but so does everybody else's. Everybody's equal here. This is just a fucking field. This is the field where we fight in. Um this is the throwing hands field. We come out to the field, nobody brings any weapons and we settle our problems um out here, except there somebody dug a hole in the field, a trap hole, and pushed our eye of truth haver deep into it in the future.
Okay.
It's a pugilism, yeah.
Uh,
It's the Waffle House parking lot, you know? All men are equal in the Waffle House parking lot.
oh, did you see that the creator of Tekken actually responded to the fact that that was the most requested stage for Tekken? And he said that he would actively look into it, but he does not understand the cultural significance of fighting at Waffle House. Like, the official, like, lead director of Tekken made an official statement about that. That might be a thing. That might actually Tekken Waffle House.
I would love that.
I am sadly in the land without Waffle House. The state below me has Waffle House, and all the states to the east of me have Waffle House. My state does not have Waffle House, and neither does any of the states in the other directions.
Rest in peace. I am in the land of Waffle House, but I am also in the land of the Waffle House Index, and trust me, we use that shit every time a hurricane comes through.
I think here it's like Denny. Shit all out for.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. You fight in the Denny's parking lot at 3 a.m.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, at one point, I had the idea with. We never actually filmed this, but found out apparently they have a permanent fixture, which is the never-ending breakfast at Denny's. And you
Yeah.
have to pick one thing off of a list once an hour, and you can sit there forever and have only paid one price. Me and him thought it'd be so funny to get like toast every hour for like 12 hours and just film it like a Mr. Beast video. Like, what can we eat? What can we deal with for like 12 hours? They're like, I could eat a slice of toast an hour for 12 hours probably. Never did it, but we talked about it a lot. Alright, so that was Yu Gi Oh! I thought, I just kind of disappointed we didn't get like a tank.
I mean, you can always shuffle and do one. I would like to see you interpret one because this shit's hard.
You know what? Fair, fair. I haven't
This
actually.
is like Oracle cards on crack. Like At least Oracle cards are like designed to be interpreted. These are pointedly designed to play a game of entirely different scope. Although admittedly, tarot cards were originally designed to be a card game.
Yeah. Okay. I will try to interpret, or wait, I looked at those. Like Yu-Gi-Oh time. Just put those in the bottom, and then we're gonna. Okay, so we got Maneater, a plant with teeth, kind of a weaker monster. We've got Occupy, like a winged one-eyed demon. Oh, it's a fairy. Oh, and then we have Insect
Hey,
Soldier.
that's one of mine.
You're really wanting to claim this thing?
Look, we don't all have like every one of our cousins is hot, okay? We've got to have ugly cousins too.
You know what? Like, fair. Am I seeing OG Yu-Gi-Oh? Because this is OG Yu-Gi-Oh. Like, genuinely. Like, I actually have the most valuable Yu-Gi-Oh card there is, actually, which is a first edition Summon Skull in a hard case. Worth like $700. I'm not like
The
bragging.
most valuable Yu-Gi-Oh card is worth $700. God damn, Magic really needs to get their shit together.
Pokemon, it's like 70 grand.
That's insane.
It's
What
just
the fuck?
people apparently don't care as much about Yu-Gi-Oh. Okay, so Maneater plant. Let me read the description. Poisonous feelers for attacking enemies. So, okay.
I know, Lorana, that's why I said Magic needs to get their shit together. Having a card worth 2.5 million is absurd. It's a piece of card stock. Sorry.
All right, so
I have strong opinions.
okay, so I think I might have a decent
Hell yeah.
interpretation of this. Or wait, hold on. Let me.
Run it for us.
Okay, this is gonna be the easiest, fastest thing ever. You're planted in your ways like a plant. Maybe dealing with hard times, such as, I guess, having your man eaten. But there is but if you move quickly and perform some actions like this fairy, you can avoid pestilence of bugs in your future. Well, not specifically bugs, but pestilence of the bugs in your. So, you are planted. Perform actions quickly. Circumvent future negatives. How is that?
Pretty good. I think pretty good.
That was my All right. My attempt at interpreting. I wish I would have. I honestly think the Magic cards of Yu-Gi-Oh were better for interpreting, just because they're vaguer, and not just here's a monster. Jar of Greed allows you to draw 2 cards. Got a Knight. Soul Release. Actually,
Heart of Greed allows you to add 2 cards from your deck.
Actually, that one specifically, since it's the trap card version, allows you to draw only 1 card. But you can do it on your opponent's turn. Because it's the Jar of Greed, not the Pot of Greed. Anyway. In your room where you'll get a bug infestation. And do it quickly. Yeah, pretty much. Alright. I think that's...
Max, do you have experience with tarot? You're pretty good at interpreting Bullshit.
Oh, Mac was like the entire time we were doing like Silent Hill, our big Silent Hill marathon. Like analyzing the story really well. We were having like big in-depth discussions, and if you've ever played a Silent Hill game, you'll know everything in Silent Hill is super abstract.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, Mac's smart. Mac good at this stuff. But I think that is probably a good sign to wrap up for me. Like I said, I don't can do One Piece, and I. Oh, I'm sorry, Sai.
Hi, Sai.
Yeah, okay, fine. You know what? Just because you got here, we'll do. Pick a type of card, and I'll do a tarot reading. Back. I got Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic, and I can try One Piece, I guess. Want me to? I'm not gonna make Glad try to do. And we also have regular tarot. Probably also be Yu-Gi-Oh!
Wicca. Ah, Wicca. The red-headed stepchild of my practice.
Alright, and you know what? I'll do my hard case cards. A different set of cards entirely.
Hmm.
Badoop, badoop, badoop. This is also the type of case that all my rare cards are in. Like, I don't that. Hard case. Okay, you got Order to Charge. It's a bunch of knights in a field ready for battle. You have a ceasefire. And you've got a dragon. Well, that is literally a story.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and interpret that as solve your problems early. Your conflicts early, where there are bigger things on the horizon to deal with. That was very succinct. I liked it.
Yeah.
There you go. One Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh! Tarot card reading.
Hell yeah.
Cards that I grabbed. Also, the funny part about Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that it's okay. So the $7,000 card that's rare, right? How much it's worth if you
12 cents.
$16.
That is a lot more than I was expecting. I'm not gonna lie.
And you have to pay $200 to get it formally graded to even make it worth $7,000. So it's worth $16 unless you have $200 to spend on making it worth $7,000.
Capitalism.
Isn't that dumb? All right. Well, thank you guys all so much for watching. Go follow Glad. Give Glad a shout out, please. I can do that actually. Grading is a process. Yeah, I hope you guys had a. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say hi. My name's Glad. You don't actually have to follow me.
You gotta go. You have to go follow Glad. It's required. Anyway, so thank you guys all so much for watching. I hope you all had a wonderful time. Glad, good chance to give it. What do you do?
I play all kinds of games. I'm usually streaming on Mondays and Wednesdays, as those are my off days. The time is fucking whenever I figure it out. I'm usually playing all kinds of different games. I have a tarot redeem on my channel if you're ever curious about tarot cards. It's not a reading redeem though, so don't expect that. Yeah, you can follow me. I'm trans. I'm funny sometimes. I smoke a lot of weed. My pronouns are she, they. That's You can bully me. Yeah, that is one of my redeems. Is a pelt redeem. Oh, I sometimes host movie nights in my Discord on Sunday evenings.
Fine, fine. I always mean to do that, and then I don't.
You're always welcome to show up to ours, but I know you're never around on the weekends. We do it real late though, so.
Yeah, I work a 12-hour shift on the weekends. I have to wake up
yeah.
at like 5 in the morning.
Yeah, that's valid.
So I pretty much just get home and then eat, pass out.
Yeah, I totally get that. Been there, done that.
But anyway, I thank you all so much for watching. Like I said, go follow Glad, join the Discord, follow the merch store, Patreon, blah 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 blah. Advanced GG, use code Selvion10 at checkout to get 10% off and give me 10% of whatever you spent on it. Hey, thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.